With Season 1 done of UnOrdinary, we are still left with questions that still need to be answered. And this one question is specifically for John's mother. Okay, so we haven't seen her in the series at all. Not even a flashback, not even a quick mention of it. So this honestly brings up, who the heck is John's mom? Like, who could she possibly be? Because we have little to no information. And basically all we got is like where John's ability came from. And coming from Earl-chan, in quote, an individual's ability potential is hereditary and cannot be changed naturally. And this leads us to believe that she's, by default, a god tier. So, before I actually get into doing a whole bunch of analyzation and all that crap, here's a quick what if. Actually, this video is going to be like a giant what if. So, here's a quick what if. So, let's say John's mom isn't a god tier. So, hypothetically speaking, let's say she's like an elite tier or a high tier. And her abilities actually transfer over to John, which we all know. And if we know the ratings of the high tiers and the elite tiers, we know their abilities are pretty powerful. But this brings up another question. And you'll understand why I asked this question so early when I get to the next segment of this video. So, what if John's mom was like lower than a high tier? Or elite tier? Let's just say she's like a mid tier, hypothetically speaking. And we know that John has been training a whole lot by himself. So that's why his ability mastery is like so high. And this leads me to think she added like everybody else to an extent. Like, she beats up the lower tiers just because he has like a powerful ability. Like, remember, this is just a what if. So, this brings up another point. And I'm sorry if I sound so messy right now and unorganized. This is coming like straight off the top of my head. But we know that John's ability at this point is probably, well, confirmed to 7. And that was a new boss scene. We don't know if it's higher. We don't know if it's lower. We just know it's a 7. And people speculate that the Poker Game said like a 9.6. Which I kind of doubt in a way. Because of the ranking system. But I'll just save that video for another day. But point being is, what if his mother never had control of her abilities? Like, not like like she has big potential, yes. But what if she never had mastery over the powers? Like, if she constantly lose control and just use them non-stop? Like, you know, like it fluctuates. So, general tier probably would be like a high or god tier. It would just continually fluctuates. So, just thinking, it's just like, she may have been like a god tier, but where's the control at? Like, remember, this is just speculation, so I'm just saying it from the top of my head. And I'm sorry if I keep repeating that throughout this video. I just don't want you guys to be like, oh no, this and that and that. Like, no, this is just a what if discussion theory video, so we're just gonna leave it at that. So I got another what if. And this one is a little bit out of the ballpark, but I can see it happening too. So the second what if is, what if she was subscribed in the Book of UnOrdinary? Before you storm me with, oh my god, that can't be true, it's probably gonna be John. Just listen for a second, and let me try to explain. John's father wrote the book for him after the whole stuff with Keon. So basically, he was trying to help him. So my thing is, what if the main character wasn't John, or based off of John, what if it was his mother, and we were just told something else different? Because if that was the case, it would make sense about her whereabouts. Because as we know in the story, she was not around. And in the story of Unordinary, the main character of the book did all these great things but ended up dying. And since you know John's mom isn't around, it could be possible that the things described in this book probably happened to her. We don't really know much about like Unordinary either, so it's up in the air. It's possible. Alright, so I got like 2 more of these what ifs before I just go ahead and just begage y'all with questions. So my second to last one is like, what if John's mom died when he was younger? Like, you know, the typical shonen protagonist. Okay. Edward Elric, anybody? Naruto, Ichigo, like, come on. I think the setup is pretty clear here. But if John's mom possibly died when he was younger, it could probably explain more as to why John is the way he is. Like, let's take aside his mental state from like new bossing and bullying. And we don't got much about John's past, so what if John's mother died in that time and people were bullying him around that time? It would make you think his mental state would get like way worse after we have seen now. It's just like, you know, she could probably just died off screen. And let's just say this. She died, but she died in the series, and she possibly could have been a superhero. Now, I forgot to list the names, but if John's ability is aura manipulation, and his mother's ability is aura manipulation, there might have been a superhero that could have done that. Like, there's like a whole bunch of things we don't know about his mom, and it's just making me just sit over here and just, you know, just think for a second. So, another thing is, I think she could possibly work for like one of the big companies like Next Gen, Say the Psy, Ember for that matter, or authorities. Like, we don't know. There's like a whole bunch we don't know. Like, it just makes you think, right? So, my last one is, she is probably out of the country or out of state. It has no possible way to contact her son, because we saw his contact list. I forgot what episode that was, but it was on his laptop, and like the only contacts that we actually legit seen was his father and Serafina. And this makes me question it again. Why haven't we seen her in the series, or even haven't mentioned? Like, why hasn't John's father talked about her? Like, it leads you to believe that William isn't telling everybody something. Like, there's a missing piece there. Like, you would think if it's his wife, you know, you would say something, right? Right? So he might know some things. It's just he hasn't said a word about it to the reader or John. It's a big And this brings up another question. And me and the Jokers did discuss this, but how did a a cripple like William get together with a god tier being John's mother? It's another big Why would a higher tier date a lower tier? Like, where did this all happen at? Like, was it a personality, or what? Did she see over abilities? Or like, there's like a whole bunch of things we just don't know. And like, it leads us to question, like, could a divorce happen? Did she get her arrested? Was she ever possibly killed? Like, what the actual hell happened to her? Like, we know so little about William, John, and their family. Like, only thing we pretty much got was like the John saga. And it feels a little bit incomplete not knowing about the rest of this man's family. Like, there is like so much missing. But as far as we know, we only got his dad. So, about John's mother, we all know that she's just a god tier. And that John inherited her aura manipulation, if that were the case. And he got her eye color, for that matter. But we honestly don't know what she looks like. She probably could have been shorter or taller than John's father, which explains John's height. Like, there's like a whole bunch of things that we don't know. And like, even going back to when he wasn't in school for a year, he probably could have been with his mother in that time. Like, there's no information that we got on September 13th or 15th. I'm gonna be the one to ask, like, what happened to John's mother? Like, where? Like, I'm just over here just like, holy freaking crap, we don't know nothing about this character. Can you give us like a little something about it? Because for all we know, his mother could be Hair-Jo-kun. Like, I'm sorry. But for all we know, she could be anybody. That, even a bystander in the series that we haven't really put focus on. But I'm just gonna end this video here before I start rambling and get into other topics for other videos. Trust me, I don't want to spoil those. I'm saving those for special occasions. But tell me what you think about John's mom. Could she have been the story and we ain't know? Like, there's a lot of things that probably happened that we don't know about. There's like a whole bunch of stuff that we don't know about John's mother. Or John's past, for all that matter. But I'll leave it at that. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Subscribe if you can. If you haven't already, I definitely will be doing more content with fighting games and webtoons. So my next video will probably be another UnOrdinary video, or me moving into my new dorm, which will happen at the time of this video in 2 days. So, like, comment, subscribe, comment what you think will happen, what do you think about John's mom, or who she possibly could have been, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll see you guys later. Peace.